Good day to each and every one of us. I'm Maria Antoinette Abelion,
I am Marian Angel Berenger,
and we are here to present to you our video lecture on Impressionism. Impressionism is perhaps the most important movement in the whole of modern painting. The name of the movement derived from the title of Claude Monet painting called Impression, Sunrise.
It was a 19th century art movement that began as a loose association of Paris-based artists who began exhibiting their art publicly in the 1860s.
At some point in the 1860s, a group of young artists decided to paint very simply what they saw, thought, and felt.
They were not interested in painting history, mythology, or the lives of great men, and they did not seek perfection in visual appearances.
Instead, as their name suggests, the Impressionists tried to get down on canvas an impression of how a landscape, thing, or person appeared to them at a certain moment in time.
This often meant using much lighter and looser brushwork than painters had up until that point, and painting out of doors and plein air. The Impressionists also rejected official exhibitions and painting competitions set up by the French government, instead organizing their own group exhibitions which the public were initially very hostile.
All of these moves predicted the emergence of modern art and the whole associated philosophy of the avant-garde.
These are the characteristics of Impressionist painting. First is the visible brushstrokes. When you zoom in on an Impressionist piece, you can see the artist's hand at work. The brushstrokes are not blended together. They are small, they are loose. They don't focus on the fine details of the artwork. Instead, they are trying to capture a moment, and so these loose brushstrokes are fast and quick. Second, emphasis on light and the changing qualities of it. This concerned with capturing light and the fleeting moment in time. Emphasis on light in its changing qualities is often accentuating the effects of the passage of time. Changing the lighting of a picture can change the mood, feeling, and the interpretation of an image. The third one is the light and colors. Monet is known for his paintings that are full of light and color. He once said, "Color is my day-long obsession, joy, and torment." With frequent honest compositions and attitudes and a strong emphasis on the play of light, the painting had energy and immediacy and made varied use of vibrant colors.
Fourth one is the ordinary subject matter. Different artists focus on different subjects. Typical content portrayed in Impressionist paintings includes still life depictions, landscapes, portraits of friends and family, lakes, dancers, and modern city scenes. Example of this is the Beet Harvest by Camille Pissarro, where it shows the daily lives of peasants as can be seen in this painting. Fifth is the unusual visual angles. Inspired by the newly developed medium of photography, the Impressionists produced paintings with unusual visual angles that resemble images of moments in time. This is why Impressionist paintings feature asymmetrical compositions resembling candid photographs taken without the knowledge of their subjects. Example of this artwork painting by Claude Monet that captures his wife strolling along with their son on a windy summer day. Lastly is the open compositions. A very good example of open composition is landscape, just like the bridge at Villeneuve, painting by Alfred Sisley. Even though landscapes are not always dynamic, it is the sheer sensation of space and depth that emphasizes an open composition.
Now, we will move on to the masters of Impressionism. First, Claude Monet. He became the founder of the French Impressionist movement and was arguably the most influential French painter of the time. In fact, the term Impressionism originated from the title of one of Monet's paintings, Impression Soleil Levant. Pierre-Auguste Renoir was one of the greatest and prolific exponents of French Impressionism. He worked with several other Impressionists, notably his close friend Claude Monet, with whom he practiced plein air painting and the capture of light and its effects of nature. Edgar Degas. He was one of the group's founders, an organizer of its exhibitions, and one of its most important core members. Like the Impressionists, he sought to capture fleeting moments in the flow of modern life. Yet, he showed little interest in painting plein air landscapes.
Next is Camille Pissarro. He was a Danish-French Impressionist and Neo-Impressionist painter born on the island of Saint Thomas. He is known as the father of Impressionism. Pissarro painted rural and urban French life, particularly landscapes in and around Pontoise, as well as the scenes from Montmartre. His mature work displays an empathy for peasants and laborers and sometimes evidences his radical political leanings. Examples of his famous paintings are the cities and streets. Last one is Alfred Sisley. He was an Impressionist landscape painter who was born and spent most of his life in France but retained British citizenship. He was the most consistent of the Impressionists in his dedication to painting landscape and plein air. In here, we have the painting's technique used. Impressionists use short, quick brush strokes to add thick layers of paint, also known as the impasto technique. This is used to quickly capture the essence of the subject rather than its details. This also allows the brush strokes to remain visible and adds textures to the painting. Next is the optical mixing technique. Colors are applied side by side with as little mixing as possible, creating a vibrant surface. The optical mixing of colors occur in the eye of the viewer.
The play of light was very important to the Impressionists. They put emphasis on the way colors were reflected among objects and painted at certain times of the day to capture the pervading light, especially during twilight to seize the early evening shadows. Like painting on a light-colored ground, the use of complementary colors helped the Impressionists to increase the apparent brightness of their paintings.
These are our references. Again, I am Maria Antoinette Abelian.
And I am Marian Angel Berenger.
Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.